All right, y'all. So just wanted to share with you a little bit. So I went to take a walk to decompress. And again, today is Thursday, December 30th, 2021. And what I'm going to entitle this one, if there's a title to it at all, is that things aren't always what they seem. And I've said this before, and it's, again, another cliche as well. Excuse me just a moment. I sneeze. Believe only half of what you see and none of what you hear. So even though I'm 46, going on 47 this December coming up, um, one of the I still have a lot of childhood idealism or wishfulness in my heart, right? So I went for my walk, and outside it's like summer to me. I could have on shorts and a t-shirt, and I would really be okay. I was a little bit warm with what I have on, um, and I walked down a street that's adjacent to mine that I don't normally walk down because I don't go through that direction, but I saw it from far off and saw there were some Christmas lights. So I said, let me take a look and see whose lights are lit up, just to take a look. My lights were only on for like 2 days. I turned them off. I didn't bother turning them on the other days. But so I realized that, hey, all of the houses with lights on, once again, are from the Hispanic people. And they're out really enjoying themselves. And the first sentiment that I got, the lights were on, and they were all out. It's a nice night, fairly nice night outside. It's a little warm, but they were out, having beers, which I think is cool. If they're in front of their house doing it, fine. And it just really seemed like the Christmas spirit to me, and I was kind of happy about that. I was like, oh, the awe, AWE, of Christmas. And so that was a feeling that I had, and that's what I saw, you know and I was admiring that. But as I walked by, they began to start catcalling me and whatever. And of course, y'all know I speak a little Spanish, and so, but you don't really need to speak a little Spanish to understand what they were saying. And I was just like, wow, are they serious? And when you have situations like that, the way that I manage them is I turn around and I look because I want to see who is it that has that much disrespect. And then when you look enough, they'll wave or something like that. But I don't wave back because I understood clearly what you were saying, and it was not, neighborly or, complimentary. And so, it hurt my feelings. And the reason that it hurt my feelings is because I'm expecting, oh, beautiful Christmassy. And you have this expectation in your heart that, oh, they're celebrating, they're enjoying themselves, and they're having a good time. But their version of a good time included being able to catcall a female, not even an attractive female at that. And maybe that's why, because they felt that it was easy target, right? And so as I continue on, I'm in my feelings about that a little bit. Get a couple houses down, and I see what looks like two kids. I can't tell the race. I think they were Hispanic. And this neighborhood was predominantly black, but it's transferring over to Hispanic. And two little kids, door wide open. There's no screen or anything. I'm thinking, okay, it's no bugs for some reason right now. I don't know why there's no bugs, but the door wide open, and I'm thinking, where are their parents at? And and at first I thought maybe I should tell them to close the door. And then I was like, no, I need to mind my business. But then as I continued on, their mom or whoever's right there, and it's a Hispanic lady, and she's not saying anything. And I'm like, wow, if I said something, it would have been bad. But why are you letting your kids have the door wide open to the part where the screen is not, the spring screen thing is being broken? Why are you doing that? And Hispanic people, in my opinion, generally are very, clean. From what I saw, clean people. But I always thought that they were good people too, because when I lived in Miami and so forth, they always were happy. They were always making beautiful situations out of tragic situations. Um, but here, the experience is a little bit different. And it may be because of me. Maybe it's because I've changed. My appearance has changed. So, I wouldn't be somebody that's accepted into their fold. And my demeanor has changed. I'm not happy-go-lucky as I was, even though in my heart I still have idealistic values. But so the point behind that is that everything that you think is for you is not for you. That situation that I saw, the picture perfect Christmas lights with people out front just relaxing, enjoy each other's company, that's what I saw in my, just looking initially. But the truth of the matter is, and I don't know if the music is still on, but the truth of the matter is that was not the case at all. These were men that were catcalling me in a very derogatory way, in Spanish. right? And so then again, I see kids outside, and my heart, my good heart, this should be my good heart versus reality. So my good heart saw like a picture perfect Christmas with these, people in front of their house that happen to be Hispanic. But no, reality was they were drunk old men cat calling me. Okay? Then I move on, and my idealism said, okay, these are kids, and they're teeny tiny kids, little tater tarts of children, pushing the door. Their parents must not be there. There must be something bad going on. No, their parents were right there. They didn't care that they were breaking the door. And if I had said something, it would have been a problem. So continuing up the street, now black people, and I'm walking, and I'm in my feelings about, again, the first incident, because I'm like, man, I really thought that was ideal. But as I I need to sit up straight. As I continue to walk up the street, there's black people in the front yard, and I happen to glance, and they wave at me. And in my mind's heart, and this is my wistful imaginings, I would think, oh, they're being neighborly, they're liking me, they put me in the fold. Reality is, they're just keeping your eyeballs off of them, and they're gonna talk shit about you. So, and I had that experience when I first came here, because, like I said, even over the past 2 years, I've changed a lot. I remember walking past, and there was a lady here that was a retired school teacher that lived up the street, and I was like, oh, she's accepting me into her family. She actually literally said that. But then I found out when other men came around and they were soliciting me or whatever, she didn't have nothing to say. I was thinking to myself, how can you be a school teacher and let some man that's her nephew or whoever talk to me like that? So maybe the reality, and again, I'm gauging reality here, maybe the reality of the world is that people are really like that with who they feel they can be. It's just because somebody's a school teacher or has this position. And I understand with judges and police officers and lawyers that, hey, just because that's a position that they don't live up to it. But school teachers, you're dealing with children, And maybe I'm late in the game, because I've heard a lot of young adults and kids tell me that their school teachers were very non-professional with them. When I was growing up, my teachers were perfect. Hampton, Virginia, like I said, perfect. You know, perfect teachers. I learned so much from them. So the world has just gone downhill. And maybe, when my mom let me go, she was like, oh, the world has changed. I would have liked for her to, sit and explain things to me, but, it's done. So that was just my experience walking. And then the last journey of the way home, I walked up a separate street. Nothing real, coincidental happened there. So just wanted to share with you about my walk. I needed to just get up and get out of here, so I didn't take my phone or anything with me, so I couldn't show you the live version. Reason I'm posting this, just so I can get some watch time in. Because nobody's listening to lives, because there's really nothing going on. But, if y'all had some positivity and just wanted to support it, would be nice. But this is a snippet of the live, and I'm going to post it just so that I can see if I can get some hours in. But I love you. I still need to actively, and I hope I'm not wasting my time. Part of me wants to actively start trying to find people to come and visit my channel, people that may have gone through the same thing, and you can tell by comments. But maybe my situation is that unique where there's nobody like me. I don't think so, though. I refuse to believe that, because I see similarities, but I know that there's not going to be a situation where everything is the same. And also about people being fickle or not being present. I'm human, and I've had that situation too, where someone, you're disappointed enough that, and then it's a reason for that. So I'm just going to keep looking. Hopefully, like I said, I am really looking for my tribe. Hopefully I find people that are similar to me, that have the same value system as me, maybe some of the same experiences, and don't mind sharing. Anyways, I love you. I'm going to go back to, doing whatever. And I'm going to try, and I really, like I said, posting videos right now is not a priority for me, but I'm going to, because I don't want them to pile up in my little video postings. So I'm going to start getting rid of some of those, and I'm just going to go with the flow and go what I feel. Also, I want to share with you my dream today, which is coincidental to, the situation that I had happen today. The dream that I had was, and the dream was it, I can't remember, it was a company. And it's so weird, because that's kind of what happened today. But I didn't record it, and it was like a nightmare. But I didn't record it right off. I basically wasn't being heard. Again, that muted thing that I talked about in my last video. I wasn't being heard. I was talking to someone, and I was trying to get an issue resolved. But it happened today though. But it was the same thing. And I need to record those dreams immediately because by this time of night I forgot. But it was a situation where I was talking to somebody about something, trying to get it resolved, and they were totally disregarded me. And that's what happened today. I wish I remembered it. So I got to train myself to do that, to just go on and record it immediately. That's a priority. My dreams are a priority because they literally come true. Like they literally happen. And so it's kind of awe inspiring when you go back to watch a video that you recorded, let's say in the morning, and then at the end of the day you're like, yo, that happened, you know. But then I recorded a dream a couple weeks ago and it didn't happen. So not not in a way that was like bam in your face, but I've had many instances where it's like bam in your face, it happened, you know. But anyways, so if anything that I talk about or anything I share about you is similar to something that you experience, please share it with me. Let me know. You know, connect with me, get to know me. Feel free to ask me any questions. I really want people to know me. For me, know who I am. And, you know, like I said, I'm 46. I'll be 47 soon. You know, I only have about half a life left. And I really want to get some things going. You know, I don't want to leave this world without making some kind of impact, you know. And even though I might have 50 more years on this earth, hopefully, you know, I don't know how many of those years are actually going to be completely mobile years, you know, where I have all my faculties and physical and mental and everything, you know. So I really, I don't want to regret, you know, anything in life. And it's just, and I don't have any regrets. And I have to, I guess, come to terms with the fact that sometimes things you want, you know, may not necessarily happen. And the saving grace and all that is I'm trying. The only thing that hurts me a little bit is that when I have to give my time to things that I don't think should be a priority for me, you know, or that are not, you know, in tune with my goal. I mentioned to you guys about, you know, the posts that I post sometimes and how, you know, they relate to my real life. And I think I talked about one about the productivity the last time, but there was something else that I wanted to talk about that I posted about too. Just real briefly touching on it, I talked about, um, you know, credit card companies automatically boost your credit limit without you knowing. I had a few people answer no. A lot of people said they didn't sure. Some people said yes. The answer is yes, they can, and that's a great compliment. So of all these times where I'm not receiving any compliments from the world or the universe, that's one compliment I received. They boosted my credit score. You know, did they have to? No, but not, well, the credit score, of course they did, but the credit limit. So that's pretty awesome. Um, and coincidentally, the question I asked about, are you good managing your past but fail at manipulating your future? A lot of people had things in common with that. I didn't hear anybody say no. Everybody said, yeah, they can manage the past, but they can't manipulate the future. And I wonder if it's because we're all in the same mind frame where we're thinking to manipulate is a bad thing. You know, it's to manipulate is dishonest. And that's how we've been trained. And so we don't manipulate anything. You know, we assume people are going to do the right thing, which I'm seeing is not happening. And if something bad happens, we manage it. I really, you know, for people that answer that poll, I really want to know like your opinion on that, like your experience, because this is a real touchy situation when you are going against how you've been trained all your life. You know, I've always been a good person by nature and possibly by nurture. You know, I've always been a good person, always. And that word is almost like worse than the profanity coming out of my mouth. I haven't trained myself to use that word or to behave in that way. So, but yeah, but anyway, so this was just a brief snippet. We're gonna go back to whatever's next on my list here. I love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.